Ross Barton has no idea that Mackenzie Boyd has uncovered the truth, and his carefree attitude is beginning to get under Mackenzie's skin as tensions continue to rise between them. Earlier this week, Charity Dingle admitted to Mack that she had slept with Ross, leading to the birth of baby Leyla. She also revealed the terrifying ordeal she suffered at the hands of Doctor Todd, explaining that she had been blackmailed and sexually assaulted. Although Mack has promised to stand by Charity while she seeks justice, keeping his anger under control is proving harder with every passing day. In the latest episode of the ITV soap, Charity informed D.S. Reid about the blackmail carried out by Doctor Todd. While the detective acknowledged the importance of the allegation, she explained that it would need to be investigated as a separate case. The update left Charity disappointed and questioning whether speaking out had been the right decision. Later, Charity arrived at the Woolpack to prepare for Leyla's christening, but was stunned when she spotted the same woman she had met by the lake a few days earlier. At the time of their first meeting, Charity had no idea the stranger was Serena Sugden, who had travelled to the village in search of her distant cousin, Robert Sugden. With Robert currently away, Serena has been spending time getting to know Sarah Sugden instead. Fearing that Serena might expose her secrets, Charity immediately became anxious. However, Serena reassured her that she had no intention of revealing anything. Moments later, Mack arrived and was surprised to learn about Serena's connection to the Sugden family. Mack quickly became suspicious, believing Serena couldn't be trusted simply because she was a Sugden, although Charity disagreed with his judgment. Meanwhile, back at Jacob's fold, Mack was forced to watch Ross leave with Moses. Completely unaware that Charity had confessed everything, Ross remained cheerful and relaxed. After Ross departed, Charity tried to comfort Mack, but he rejected her support. Overcome with rage, he even admitted that he wanted Ross dead, a dangerous statement in a village where revenge rarely ends well. Upcoming episodes will feature a flash forward, revealing that someone has been violently attacked. The events shown today may have quietly hinted at what is still to come. Could Mack's overwhelming anger finally explode, leading him to confront Ross over baby Leyla and launch a violent attack? The arrival of a brand new Sugden is an exciting step for Emmerdale. For years, the famous family has had only a limited presence in the village, making Serena Sugden's debut a welcome expansion of one of the soap's most legendary dynasties. While this strengthens the Sugden legacy, it also raises an important concern. Other established residents could end up receiving even less attention. The Sugdens, Dingles and Tates have always been the backbone of Emmerdale. The show originally revolved around the Sugden family. The Dingles provide the heart of the village across generations, and the Tates continue to represent wealth, influence, and power. Developing these iconic families is essential, but it shouldn't come at the expense of characters who don't belong to those famous surnames. Serena's introduction gives the Sugden family the fresh energy it has needed for quite some time. Her early scenes with Sarah Sugden made an encouraging first impression, while her kindness towards Charity Dingle showed she has a compassionate side. Of course, it seems almost certain that Serena is keeping secrets, as new arrivals rarely enter the village without hidden motives. Beyond adding another Sugden to the cast, Serena has the potential to build fresh friendships and spark new rivalries. A close bond with Sarah could become an enjoyable storyline, while Robert Sugden's reaction to discovering Serena in the village promises to be interesting. The real issue isn't Serena herself. It's the possibility that Emmerdale could continue prioritizing its biggest families while neglecting many of the characters already living in the village. Looking back at the show's biggest storylines throughout 2026, it's striking how many have focused almost entirely on the major family dynasties. Meanwhile, numerous long-standing residents have largely served as supporting players in other people's stories instead of leading their own. Several major plots highlight this trend. Cain Dingle battled prostate cancer, Moira Dingle found herself behind bars, Charity welcomed baby Leyla after keeping the truth about the child's father hidden for months, Paddy Kirk struggled with the consequences of his father's shocking crime. Joe Tate manipulated almost everyone around him through blackmail, while Robert Sugden returned only to face emotional goodbyes and adjust to Joe becoming his employer. None of these storylines are flawed in themselves. The concern is that they continue to revolve around characters audiences already know extremely well. While the show deepens the journeys of its most established figures, many newer or less connected residents are still waiting for meaningful opportunities to shine. One notable exception this year was Cami Hadid. Although he first appeared in 2025, viewers had to wait over a year before discovering more about his personal struggles. Initial suspense suggested he might be hiding something sinister, but the revelation that he had been living without a home was resolved surprisingly quickly. Within just a couple of days, he had already moved in with the Dingles. Because Cami's storyline lasted little more than a week, it never had enough time to deliver its full emotional impact. Living with the Dingles has strengthened his place in the village, but it also risks preventing him from developing a unique identity beyond that family. The same concern applies to several other familiar faces. Liam Kavanagh is one example. As the village doctor, Kane's close friend and Chas Dingle's partner, he remains an important figure. His heartbreaking storyline following Leanna's murder remains one of the show's strongest emotional arcs in recent years, but since then he has lacked a clear direction of his own. Without close relatives still living in the village, Liam increasingly feels defined by his relationships with other families, rather than his own independent story. Introducing more members of the Kavanagh family could help establish Liam more firmly within the community. At present, he often feels like someone supporting other people's plots instead of leading one himself. Manpreet Sharma is another character whose potential feels underused. Her emotional relationship with her sister during Mina's reign of terror proved that powerful storytelling doesn't always require one of Emmerdale's famous surnames. Despite that success, she has gradually settled into a supporting role within other characters' storylines, instead of receiving major plots of her own. Charles Anderson also deserves greater focus. As the village vicar, he frequently offers guidance and support to others, but rarely becomes the center of significant storylines himself. Kane's prostate cancer storyline demonstrated how effective issue-based drama can be, but a similar storyline centered on Charles could have explored the increased prostate cancer risk faced by black men while also giving him much-needed character development. Mary Goskirk and Claudette Anderson deserve similar attention. At a time when television is often criticized for overlooking older female characters, both women have more than enough personality and depth to carry substantial storylines. Instead, they have largely existed to support the narratives of others. As Emmerdale continues strengthening the Sugden family and celebrating its history, it should also invest in creating the next generation of unforgettable village matriarchs, much like Betty and Edna once were. And those aren't the only examples. Why hasn't Billy Fletcher been given a storyline showing what life is like after his marriage to Dawn ended? Why does Ryan Stocks only seem to appear whenever Charity is dealing with another crisis? Soap operas naturally rotate their characters in and out of major storylines, and it's impossible for everyone to be the main focus all the time. However, if this pattern continues, it will no longer feel as though these residents are simply waiting for their moment. It will feel like they've been pushed aside completely. Emmerdale continues to air on ITV1 every weekday evening at 8 p.m, with episodes also available to stream from 7 a.m. on ITVX.